Hello, my name is Alyssa Knight, and I'm going to be talking about the Hawaiian luau today. Topics I'm going to be covering are terminology, history behind the luau, what you would find at a luau, and the cuisine. So some important terms, just to give you guys some background knowledge of what I'm going to be talking about and getting familiar with the language of the Hawaiian culture. So taro root, a sacred plant to the Hawaiian culture. Mahalo, thank you in Hawaiian. Hula, a sinuous Hawaiian native dance with intricate arm movements that help tell a story, involves rhythmic drumming along with chanting. Mele, Hawaiian song, anthem, or chant, and this is kind of a way of how they go about their religion and spreading their story through mele. And kalua being a traditional Hawaiian cooking method of roasting protein in an imu being an underground oven, and kapu meaning forbidden in Hawaiian. All right, so what exactly is a luau? It's a Hawaiian feast that originated from Polynesian and Hawaiian culture, and it's pronounced luau. The term luau stands for young taro tops, and if you look at this picture right here, this is the taro plant, so that sacred plant to the Hawaiian culture, and these leaves are used a lot in Hawaiian cooking, and they aren't using banana leaves to cover an imu, the underground oven. They're going to be using taro plant leaves, and they also use them a lot to serve their dishes. So they'll serve chicken or squid in there, and it's normally mixed in with coconut milk and taro. However, it wasn't always called a luau. The original name is Aha'aina, meaning gathering for a meal, and it was used specifically for very special events such as celebrating or honoring gods, celebration of a battle or winning a battle, victory, birth of a child, and more. It was created by King Kamehameha II, and it really was a way to, which we'll get into, but he put an end to restrictive laws and he wanted everyone to come together. And the real basis behind the Ha'aina is to allow different generations to come together, work together, prepare meals, and share their heritage and culture by passing it down generation to generation through working together, whatever. And then the reward is dancing, singing, eating the food, and yeah. So when we're looking into a luau timeline, prior to 1819, there was a kapu system in place, or kapu. Kapu meaning forbidden, and so there was forbidden laws and really restrictive religious practices where women couldn't eat with males and women had no access to sacred foods or higher up foods. Some males could have certain foods that were considered of higher status. However, mostly sacred foods were only for chiefs, and those foods being reef fish, pork, and bananas. In 1819, King Kamehameha II abolished these restrictive laws, and he really just wanted everyone to come together and be able to enjoy the Hawaiian culture and the good food they have to offer, and just wanted everyone to come together for celebrations. When we move into the 1850s, that's when the word luau came about to the Aha'aina, and it represents where the food was served, the taro tops. When we look at the present day, over time, influenced by advertisers, luau now represented the Hawaiian celebration because it's an easier word to say, and it just became how people described this celebration event, and yeah. So here we have a picture. This is King Kamehameha II at a royalty Aha'aina before it was called a luau. And so he would sit at the head of the table and other royal members would sit with him. However, everyone in the community could come to certain Aha'ainas. So if you were to go to a modern day luau, you would be greeted with a lei or a kukunat, depending on your gender. So women receive floral leis and men would receive a kukunat lei. Hula and fire dancers, they're normally on a platform now, and hula dancers are doing their dances involving movements of the hips, whatever. And then the fire dancers would come in and they really put on a show together to show the story behind the Hawaiian culture, showing how the gods came about, how the lands came about. And it's a really cool thing. And then there's also a wide variety of food and drink. Some food being chicken long rice, poi, kulua pig, and their main drink being an alcoholic beverage, Mai Tai. So actually next, I was able to attend a luau myself. So I just inserted a little clip from the one I saw. So in this clip, you can see that they are dressed in their own outfits to really represent the old story behind the Hawaiian gods and culture. And that's really what all this hula dancing and the fire dancers are about. They're telling a story, and the outfits really do symbolize a lot of the culture. So when we're looking at a luau cuisine, there's kalua pig, and that is a whole pig that is baked in an imu, the underground oven. Molokai sweet potatoes, normally served as sweet potato hash. However, it is a Hawaiian sweet potato. Huli huli chicken is chicken cooked between two grills. And the reason it has this name huli huli is because huli means to turn or flip in Hawaiian. So when you're cooking it between the two grills, you need to flip the chicken. So that's where it gets its name. And poi is fermented taro root that has been baked and pounded into a paste. Some other foods that I just have up on here and you would normally see at a luau would be chicken long rice, sweet roll. So if you've ever seen King Hawaiian, that's kind of what this is right here. Lomi lomi salmon, bipikaina, and it's like a pork marinade in pork food. Kuluo, it's a Hawaiian taro dessert. Poke, and hapula, which is a coconut pudding. And I hope you guys enjoyed it.